let's talk about explainable AI. Hi, I'm Ian Thane. Welcome to another SAP CodeTalk. And I'm really pleased to have Chai with me. Chai, thank you for joining me from Singapore. You are a first timer. Would you like to introduce yourself to the CodeTalk audience?
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Chai. I'm based in Singapore, so I just one of the product owner in this AI bus services. So I think over the past few years, the unit have developed a lot of cool stuff using machine learning related to machine learning. So today I just want to share one of them with everyone here. Yeah.
Excellent, cool. So I'm going to hit the ground running straight away. Chai, explainable AI. Explain explainable AI.
Sure. So this actually is a wide topic, or actually indeed is one of the hottest topic nowadays, right? So actually, explainable AI is actually closer or in everyone's life that you may thought, right? So just giving some few perspective. For one example is the most basic one, from the user or business perspective, right? From some entertainment to social media. So everyone even asks that why the net, some video clip is recommended to you, or some picture that you have is being recognized, that they know you are in the picture, right? There are also like a lot of critical systems like air control, military, legal system, even health system also have this AI. Then another perspective is of course from the ML or data scientist perspective. They actually use a lot of explainable AI to do a debugging, to understand the potential or the behavior of the model, especially to understand if any biases in their model and how to improve the model when they are still developing, and also try to like understanding if something go wrong prediction, what is actually been wrong, right? Last but not least is also an important perspective now is about the regulation. So I think there's a it become more and more famous or important is the law against the discriminator, right? So also the GDPR compliances, right?
Mhm.
So people will ask, right, how the companies start to use the different personal data, how they actually if they are doing the profiling to understand the people. So I think the point is that it's important for us that to understand how machine learning or AI is doing with your data, right? Can they provide some kind of explainability then before, or how they come to some kind of decision. So I to put all this together in our community, that actually we are thinking of even broader perspective. So we are dealing with machine learning project all the time. So what I'm thinking is that we should not looking at a certain portion of this machine learning, just the prediction result, how it derived, but actually from the whole perspective, right? For example, when you start to collect the data, is the data even consist some biases, some uh, personal data that you should not use? And when you have the model being built, then how you sure that the model is doing right thing before they you roll it out to production? Lastly, when you roll it out to production, then even crucial that you understand the model is still behave correctly along the way, right? There is no some funny thing happen or become some detect some biases or unfair result when you blow it out to production. Yeah.
Okay. So that's explainable AI, but why is it so important?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think for the same reason that I tried to explain from what the explainability AI, right? So imagine that in the legal system, you do a sentences for making somebody guilty or not guilty, or you're using in the health system, right? So to detect if somebody have cancer or not. So this kind of is a kind of critical decision, right? That we have to ask ourselves, right? How the machine learning derive this kind of decision? Is it some backing information behind, right? So how they come up with certain conclusion or decision. So even in this audit firm lately, there actually a lot of white paper being developed, then telling that say if company that wish to start using machine learning or AI in their business, what kind of regulation or law they should aware of, even they bring it to the production. So this is I would call it the best practice of responsibility AI, that you need to have it inside the if you're rolling out a services with machine learning. The second approach or certain dimension is, of course, is the competitive differentiator, right? So the machine learning explainability is a feature itself. So imagine that you can explain why you come up with certain decision. Then, of course, it gives more trust to your user that your services is knowing what you are doing. Last but not least, from the guidance perspective, right? So we talk about the regulation, law, or data protection. So this is also become important that for the content providers per se to build the machine learning model before it roll out. It's important for them to even understand that what is the behavior of the model. If it doing the right thing, any bias, any failures that inside here, then overall the ideas is come together to improve the model quality from the Roland's perspective. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously CodeTalk, we're talking to developers. So our developers, how can they benefit from or leverage the contextual AI side?
Yeah. So I think someone will maybe ask that we talk about explainability AI and then we talk about the contextual AI. So I just want to quickly explain here. So we are basically talking about the same thing. So this is basically when we try to make it as open source is in June this year. Then we realized this explainability AI is also a brand name by some other company. That's why in the context of SAP, we name it as a contextual AI. But underneath what we do is exactly the same thing for this on the explainability AI itself.
Okay.
So how people are start using this contextual AI, right? So our idea is very simple, like I tried to explain at the beginning, right? So we want to just not looking at the end result, but we're also talking about how you collect your data, any missing data for starting your machine learning training. And during the training, then you also know that what kind of feature that the machine model learn, is it create some biases, then for the bring out to the production, then you also monitoring the behavior over time, right? So in this contextual AI, so we call it the three pillar. Later, when if there's a slide that we can show you, so it's three pillar. So the first pillar is definitely is the data explainer. So basically, you have this feature that we built in to do data validation, missing data, distribution analysis to get your idea or the machine learning team an idea that how is the data look like, right? Then second is the global explainability to explain, to tell the engineering team that what is the behavior of the model when you do something wrong or predict some wrong prediction, what is the behavior or what is the reason behind. And last is the local explainability. When you roll it out, then we talk about the why factor on this, the inference. So I think put this all together, right? So we build it as a Python library. The A1 that can go to our GitHub repo and download it, install, download it, and start using it. And on top of these three pillars that I'm talking about, then we also have this complement pillar. So basically, the idea is one is called formatter. The idea is that is how the data scientist or the client to use it like to plotting the information. So visualize information to understand how the model is, like a confusion matrix, bar chart, all those stuff. And last but not least, we call it the compiler. So this is basically targeting for those not willing to go deeper into understand the machine learning algorithm, for example. So for data scientists, maybe they can just call the function directly out of the box from our library. But we also provide another label that just for the developer, they can just using the services just through some configuration. So they just configure something using JSON, they can get the same result as you calling the services. So this is just some way we can do. We allowing the customer or the user to start using our services. There's a lot of insight that we can still about it.
Cool. So just in closing, what's the next step for our developers if so they can take a look at and maybe even contribute to contextual AI?
Yeah, so I keep mentioning in the one of inside my talk, right? We already make it open source in June this year. So everyone is welcome to follow the link that provide later that could go to our GitHub webpage. Inside they have a lot of tutorial. So we provide some comprehensive tutorial just to go through the three pillars that I just mentioned. So you can just follow the tutorial to get some feeling on how you can apply this into your project, for example. Then on top of that, we have inside SAP, we have a lot of different community that also work around this topic. So one of them is the UI UX team, the Flurry team that specialize in this explainability. So they also coming out a standard on how you can best the user or present explainability in UI. And of course, internally, we have a lot of community that data scientists that have interest in the topic. They will give some talk every bi-weekly to share some experience to them. Last but not least, is also, yeah, I say if you join our GitHub, just feel free to post your question or any finding that you have. Then, of course, any new feature that you wish, just put the inside the Jira issue there, then we'll follow up with you. Yeah.
Excellent. Chai, thank you so much for taking your time today and explaining this to us and supplying the slides, which we've put on the screen as well. And we hope to have you again soon on another Code Talk.
Sure. Nice to talk to you.